All right, I'm going to do my best to make a quick video so that you can follow along independently on these practice problems. So we're going to try adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials and then writing our answer in standard form. So the first thing you're going to look at is for any like terms that can be added together. So I see this x squared and this negative 4x squared, they can be added together. So if I have a positive 1 and a negative 4, that would give me negative 3x squared as my first term. So then I've used up those terms. So then I have these 3x and these 7x. 3 plus 7 is 10x. And then I have two constant terms. I have a positive 10 and I have a negative 5. 10 minus 5 is still positive 5, so plus 5. So now you're going to pause the video and you're going to try the problem that's directly next to this. So pause the video and try this second addition problem, and I'll be back with the answer. So for our solution, we would have this 5x cubed term come first, and then we would have this x squared term come second. And then it looks like we have a positive 3x and a negative 2x, so that would add up to x, because 3 minus 2 is 1. And then I have this negative 1 and this positive 2. 2 minus 1 would give me positive 1 as my constant term. Okay, so next we have a subtraction problem. And when we do subtraction, we need to make sure that we distribute our negative sign into the second parenthesis. So I'm going to have a negative x squared here. I'm going to have a positive 2x here, because two negatives makes a positive. And I'm going to have a negative 4 over here. So now I can take this 3x minus 8 and just add like terms together that I see. So I would have negative x squared as my first term. And then I have a 3x and a 2x, so that would be a plus 5x. And then I have a negative 8 and a negative 4, so that would make negative 12. So x squared plus 5x minus 12 is the answer. So now you're going to pause the video and you're going to try the second subtraction problem over here, and then I'll come back and show you the answer. Okay, so I hope you remembered to distribute the negative sign. So you have a negative x and a plus 1 when we change their sign. So I'll have a positive 2x squared, and then I have a 5x minus an x, so that would be a plus 4x. And then I have a 1 and another 1, so that would be plus 2 at the end. So 2x squared plus 4x plus 2. So our next problem is a multiplication problem. So you can tell it's multiplication because there's no plus sign in between. They're just touching the two parentheses. So you're going to want to set up either FOIL or the box method to multiply so that you don't forget any of the terms. So I have 3x minus 2 times 2x plus 1. So I multiply 3x times 2x, and that would give me 6x squared. And then I'm going to multiply 2x times negative 2, and that would give me negative 4x. 3x times 1 is 3x. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Now I need to combine any like terms for my final answer. So I'll have a 6x squared minus x minus 2, because I have a negative 4x and a positive 3x, and together that makes negative 1x. And then the negative 2 doesn't have any common terms. So now you're going to pause the video and try to multiply the third example on this part over here. All right, and now I'm going to show you the answer. So I set up my box. So I have x plus 2, 2x minus 4. Make sure that minus sign goes with the 4. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 2 is 4x. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So my final answer is just 2x squared minus 8. because the positive 4x and the negative 4x end up adding up to 0 at the end. So now we're going to do a division problem. So we are taking 3x plus 1, and we're going to divide that bigger polynomial. So the first one is 3x cubed. That goes inside the box. So now I'm thinking, what would go on the top of this box so that when I multiply by 3x, I get 3x cubed? So that would be x squared. And then x squared times 1 is just x squared. So now these two circles need to add up to 4x squared. So if I have 1x squared, I need 3x squared here so that they add up to this 4x squared. Now I can repeat the process and do the top and bottom of the box. So what times 3x will give me 3x squared? That would just be x. X times 1 is just x down here. So now I need to do this diagonal. That needs to add up to negative 17x. So negative 17x, what would I need to put in this box? Oops. No, I didn't make a mistake. What would I need to put in this box to make that true? So I would need to get negative 18 x's so that together they add up to the negative 17 x's that I want. So this would give me a negative 6 here times 3x to get the negative 18x, and then negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. How do I know that I did the division correctly? I have negative 6 up here in my original part of my answer. So it says to write my final answer as a product of linear factors. So I know that 3x plus 1 is the first part of my answer, and then I just got x squared plus x minus 6. So I need to do the diamond to figure out what the factors of negative 6 are that add up to positive 1. So those factors would be 3 and 2. So I want a positive 3 and a negative 2 so that they add up to 1. So my final answer is going to be 3x plus 1 times x plus 3 times x minus 2. So now you're going to pause the video and you're going to try the last division problem. And my video is getting long, so I'm not going to walk you through the next division problem. I'm just going to write the answer. So pause the video now. So here's my solution. When I did division, this is what my box looked like. I got 60, so I know that that's the correct answer. And then I wrote it as a product of linear factors. I had to use the diamond method here on x squared plus 9x plus 20, and that factored into x plus 4, x plus 5 for my final answer.